Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me a screen. I will today talk about documentation and production from collagen. As we see, the documentation is a process that leads to production of hydrogen unless methane by preparing inoculum, usually, to prepare to avoid production of methane, usually is stressing. However, in nature occurs such case that in case of gangrene, which is unfavored, that produce this hydrogen is produced. However, we don't have any pretreatment or tooth decay because if you have tooth decay, the one that destroys your teeth because the teeth is destroyed is by bacteria which eats these rests of meal, usually sugar, and due to acid for destroying, and this causes a tooth decay bacteria. And this is caused uh, by this hydrogen that tooth would collapse. Another story is another problem is the using leaving the place, the situation that will be this production stable. Unlike in gangrene, we don't know, and we try to keep this production or seek for good substrate to observe. And by this, I decided to check collagen, which is protein, because substrate for hydrogen production usually is sugar, because according to scientists is the best solution. However, I observed during sour cabbage, which was also sour cabbage is lactic acid digested, that occurs some hydrogen sulfide. And by protein, I wanted to check by collagen the influence of adding, in case of glucose, the agar plates, which are source of protein. However, they say that nutrients and literature is lack of any data regarding how much if hydrogen production is dependent of production or from agar plates. Therefore, I checked the influence of these agar plates, and as the result, I obtained that, in fact, hydrogen is produced from protein, even very high amounts, and this shows that protein can be also source of hydrogen, and this shows that protein we have to measure these things according to we have to measure and checking as the good material for hydrogen, and this shows that the origin of hydrogen sulfide is from a bacterial rest. This bacterial rest, because in case of collagen, We know the sulfide contains important. That's why also choose this protein this substrate, because I know how much hydrogen sulfide and how much hydrogen sulfide can be obtained. As a result, we deserve that parallel to hydrogen production occurred hydrogen sulfide and emission of hydrogen sulfide was too high to be only from substrate. So this caused the conclusion that it comes from bacterial rest. Of course, the pretreatment material was earlier before pretreated, removed from hydrogen sulfide before mm, before uh, investigation, and that shows the origin of bacterial rest. Thank you very much for listening to me.